Have you ever wondered how nuclear criticality calculations are optimized? These calculations, crucial for the safety and efficiency of nuclear reactors, are a complex dance of physics and mathematics. They determine the point at which a nuclear reaction sustains itself, a state we call criticality. Achieving and maintaining this balance is no easy feat, requiring precise computation and careful calibration. Enter the de novo eigenvalue calculation sequence, a key tool in this process. This computational sequence, designed specifically for nuclear reactor simulations, allows us to calculate the multiplication factor of a system. This factor is essential in determining whether a nuclear reactor is subcritical, critical, or supercritical, but there's always room for improvement. Optimizing these calculations for speed and accuracy is an ongoing challenge. It's a delicate balance, ensuring we can obtain results quickly without sacrificing the precision we need. In this video, we will discuss how to optimize these calculations for speed and accuracy. Let's delve into the fascinating world of nuclear criticality calculations, shall we? One approach to optimizing these calculations is through the adjustment of discretization in angle. In the realm of nuclear criticality calculations, the devil truly is in the details. Every element of your calculation sequence can make a difference, and one of the most impactful elements you can tweak is the discretization in angle. So, what does that mean? In simple terms, it's about how we break down the angles in our calculations. The more angles we consider, the more detailed our results. However, the trade-off is that it also requires more computational power and time. That's where coarsening the quadrature comes in. This essentially means that we reduce the number of angles we consider in our calculations. Imagine you're slicing a pizza. Instead of slicing it into 12 pieces, you slice it into 8. You still get a good idea of the pizza, but with fewer slices to consider. Then, there's the option of reducing the number of Legendre moments. Legendre moments are mathematical coefficients that help us capture the behavior of particles in nuclear reactions. By reducing the number of these moments, we can simplify our calculations and speed up our results. But, of course, there's a catch. Every time we simplify, we lose a little bit of accuracy. It's a classic case of you win some, you lose some. However, the trick is to find that sweet spot where we achieve significant speed improvements without sacrificing too much accuracy. So, how do we find this balance? Well, that's where the art of nuclear physics comes in. It's a process of trial and error, of running simulations and analyzing results, of fine-tuning and tweaking until we find the optimal balance. And the good news is, our simulations have shown that a slight reduction in both quadrature levels and Legendre orders can indeed yield notable speed improvements while maintaining acceptable fidelity. Therefore, adjusting the discretization in angle can be an effective optimization strategy. And with this strategy, we're one step closer to fine-tuning our de novo eigenvalue calculation sequence for faster yet accurate nuclear criticality calculations. Another strategy for optimization is the use of macromaterials. These unique materials have the potential to significantly enhance the fidelity of our calculations while having a minimal impact on setup time. But what exactly are macromaterials, and how do they work in the context of our nuclear criticality calculations? Think of macromaterials as the big picture materials. Instead of dealing with individual atoms or particles, macromaterials allow us to work with larger, more complex structures. These larger structures can be more representative of the actual materials we're working with in real-world scenarios, which can lead to more accurate calculations. One of the key benefits of using macromaterials is their ability to maintain high fidelity in calculations, even in complex geometries. For instance, consider a scenario where we're dealing with a nuclear reactor core made up of a variety of different materials, each with its own unique properties. By using macromaterials, we can more accurately model the interactions between these different materials, leading to more reliable and precise criticality calculations. Moreover, while it might seem like working with these larger structures would require more setup time, this is not necessarily the case. In fact, Due to the efficient ways in which macromaterials can be processed and modeled, the setup time can remain relatively unaffected. This means we can achieve higher fidelity in our calculations without having to sacrifice speed. In the field of nuclear physics, where both speed and accuracy are crucial, the use of macromaterials can be a game changer. By allowing us to model complex geometries more accurately and efficiently, they can help us optimize our criticality calculations and achieve more reliable results. In conclusion, macromaterials represent a promising avenue for improving the efficiency of nuclear criticality calculations. By integrating them into our computational models, we can enhance the fidelity of our calculations, all while keeping setup times in check. It's a win-win situation that has the potential to revolutionize nuclear criticality calculations. Memory optimization is another important aspect of these calculations. Now, consider this. Every calculation we perform, every simulation we run takes up precious memory. And in the vast world of nuclear criticality calculations, memory is a resource we cannot afford to squander. So, how do we optimize memory usage in our calculations? One way is by adjusting the scattering cross-section expansion. This may sound complex, but it's actually quite straightforward. The scattering cross-section is a measure of probability. It's a measure of how likely it is for a neutron to scatter in a particular direction after colliding with a nucleus. Now, this scattering cross-section is usually expanded in terms of Legendre polynomials. The more terms we include in this expansion, the more accurate our calculations become. But remember, each additional term requires additional memory, and that's where the balancing act comes in. We need to find the sweet spot where we can achieve memory savings without significant loss in accuracy. So, we can reduce memory requirements by decreasing the number of Legendre moments in our expansion. This is a bit like turning down the resolution on a picture. Yes, we lose a bit of detail, but if we do it right, the overall picture still makes sense. This approach has been tested, and yes, reducing the number of Legendre moments did result in noticeable memory savings. And when we're dealing with large-scale simulations, these savings can be quite significant. But of course, we need to tread carefully. We don't want to compromise the accuracy of our calculations. That's why we need to continually evaluate and fine-tune our approach to ensure we're striking the right balance between memory optimization and calculation accuracy. Memory optimization, therefore, is a key factor in improving the efficiency of nuclear criticality calculations. It's not just about getting the job done faster, but also about doing it smarter and more efficiently. And that's what we're all about. Let's summarize the main points we have discussed today. We've delved into the intricacies of fine-tuning de novo parameters for efficient nuclear criticality calculations, an endeavor that requires a keen balance between speed and accuracy. First, we examined the concept of adjusting discretization in angle. We discovered that by coarsening the quadrature or reducing the number of Legendre moments, we can potentially speed up calculations without sacrificing too much accuracy. Indeed, even a slight reduction in both can result in notable improvements in processing time. Next, we explored the use of macromaterials. These offer a path to enhance fidelity with minimal impact on setup time. In our simulations, they prove particularly effective in improving fidelity, especially in complex geometries with negligible increases in setup time. Lastly, we delved into memory optimization. By adjusting the scattering cross-section expansion and decreasing the number of Legendre moments, we can reduce memory requirements. This approach can yield significant memory savings without a significant loss in accuracy, a benefit that could be particularly advantageous for large-scale simulations. These strategies, when combined, can usher in a new era of efficiency and accuracy in nuclear criticality calculations. By fine-tuning the de novo parameters, we can empower researchers and engineers to conduct faster analyses while maintaining confidence in our results. It's important to remember that these are not standalone solutions, but rather components of a comprehensive optimization strategy. The true power lies in their combined application, tailored to the specific demands of each calculation sequence. Achieving this balance is an ongoing journey, one that requires continuous learning, experimentation, and refinement. But with dedication, collaboration, and a spirit of innovation, we can continue to push the boundaries of nuclear science, driving forward the evolution of nuclear research and engineering. With these optimization strategies, we can conduct more efficient and accurate nuclear criticality calculations.